And if I remember correctly, Crawl Cash is knocked out up here. So we basically, if I remember correctly, we kind of got in trouble with the what do you call it? With the mongrel group. I don't remember exactly why. It's been a little while. It's been a few days. I do remember that we got the Thieves Guild in them fighting, so we lost a lot of thieves, or not Thieves Guild, but Shinobi thieves, in them fighting. So that's gonna be problematic to say the least on how we're going to actually solve this. So here we're just gonna jump straight into it. We're just gonna press play. I think I was just having Crawl run around. We're gonna fast forward a little bit. Oh, this is really stuttering for some reason. Wait, I saw someone sneaking by, didn't I? I just saw someone sneaking by. I was almost sure, but that wasn't any of us, so I don't know who that could have been. Unless Jaglonger ran down and ran back up and I didn't notice. I think we were trying to attract people over to attack Crawl here. Come on, attack Crawl. He'll rip you apart. Crawl. Yeah, there we go. You got an arm. There we go. Crawl's getting actually he's kind of getting to where he can do some stuff. I noticed that whenever I pull it over here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see the cursor. I don't know. I don't know. Let's try to. Whoop. No, it seems like that happens now. Whoop. Hold on. I had to caught an antivirus pop up. Antivirus pop up. I don't know if that showed up on your guys' side, but that may have been why. Yeah, it's not anymore. We caught. So that was why the mouse was on my side, because there was an antivirus thing. There we go. See. Oh yeah, it can't loot anything. But Crawl's gonna get tough. Crawl's gonna get tough. He's got hit a little bit on the head. He's got a little bit hit on the head. A little bit of a bruise around the eye, but he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. He's gonna recover. He's gonna run up here too. I don't know if we're still disliked. I don't actually know if they still don't like us. No, they're fine with us. They're fine with us now. At least fine with Jaglonger. Enough for that they could probably go and first aid them. Maybe Crawlcash they don't like still. Let's undo sneak. No, Crawlcash is fine now too. So I think all of them are good. They're all good now. We're all cool. We're all cool now. That's all it took. Let's medic up. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, we kind of want to just set these guys on turrets if possible and have so they can level up with their money. Level up crossbow with their money. And instead run Crawl the Arisen, so Crawlcash or Jaglonger out to get some attention. To get some attention drawn to him. He's a little hurt on the head, so I'm not entirely... Okay. People are getting eaten over there, so they're probably too distracted on this side. Fortunately, there's not really anything over here. So we're going to leave those two on the gate. Meanwhile, we're going to run around with Crawl. This episode's dedicated to Crawl the Arisen here. Oh, speaking of, we're getting way more lucky on this episode. We're getting all the fights we want. Okay, run. Drag him into it. Drag him into the caught. There we go. Now, just attack the one you can. Uh-oh. Attack the one attacking you. How about that? Eat him. Eat him. Eat him. Rip him apart. Also, by helping knock off any of their limbs, he can also help himself. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So he can eat their limbs. A little bit. Let's see. Hive arm. You can eat that. In fact, hold on. We can have one of these guys go grab it. Because if they pick up the arm, they can actually feed it to Crawl as food. By dropping it down, and he'll eat it. So, actually an awesome alternative. So, let's see. They'll actually, now they will get distracted. So, hold on. Like, if we do this. Hold on. Let's actually just drop the arm and show what we mean. There we go. See, he's running around with the arm. And he'll play with it when he's not hungry, and he'll eat it when he's done. So we've actually just fed him for the day. That's all we need to do. It's that easy. That simple. That's why I like bone dogs in this game. They're really good. I know they can't wear armor or block or dodge, but if you have someone who can kind of do the blocking for them, if you have some people who are dedicated to block and the block skill, so high dexterity, high block, sabers particularly, you can pretty much just have the saber person taunt and always be the one that's getting struck at. And as long as they block it, the AoE, I don't believe the AoE actually accomplishes. Now, if they dodge it, then they could get hit. But I think as long as they block the hit, they don't. And we're gonna get very little action on this side, it seems. Okay, we're standing out here. This is not exactly where I wanted them to be. Not exactly, at least. Mostly what we're trying to do is we're trying to get some experience, and then we're going to try to get some recruits. I might just station one on one side, one on the other. Crawlkesh, you're going to come over here, and you're just going to watch over here. And if you see anything, shoot. Just go at him. Don't taunt, though. Anyone who's got block or taunt on, let's turn that off. And if you see someone to shoot at, you shoot at them, okay? We're just watching the gates. For some reason, these guys had significantly more trouble with guards than any other game I've ever done. I've literally the only other one, like in private games, I never have trouble with guards. But in the one stream we had a problem with a guard picking up in the Holy Nation one. We had a guard accidentally pick us up instead of the bandit he was trying to pick up. And for the and then another one, but in this stream we've been having constant problems. Oh boy, he's just, what's this guy doing? We're gonna leave them up there. That's fine, but let's go see if maybe Crawl can get in on the fighting. Oh, he picked somebody up. Did he lose a limb? Any limbs lost? No limbs lost. Okay. No, no limbs lost. So let's just have Crawl the Arisen run around. That way he at least gets more health. We can see his little dot. I don't know if you guys can see him from a distance, but we can have him run around in circles. As he gets athletics, he'll actually be able to kind of follow us around without us having to carry him everywhere. Dogs have a really low maximum speed, I think, though. I think they can go like to 18. I think at fastest. Hold on. You can run 11 right now. They are very, 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 very slow. Their max skill is just not that good. If we look at athletics, oh, Jaglong is shooting at somebody. Oh, they actually got hit. One of them, they actually had come up and hit them. That's not a good sign. Wait, where are you, Jaglonger? Did you run down there to fight? You're manning it from down there. What happened there? Man that one. Can you man that one? Oh, they're manning all the turrets now. Oh boy. They're fighting from there. They're shooting harpoons. Oh, they're already down. Let's have you stand here. Just stand with the guards. Bodyguard the guards. How about that? Bodyguard the guards. Crawlkesh, bodyguard these guards. Bodyguard. There we go. Worst case scenario, now we know where they are. So that means they'll generally stay by their side, and we can focus on Crawl. Oh boy, there's a whole big stack up. Oh, and the poor ninja shinobi thieves. They gave their life to help us. Because they protected us while we hid, and now they're living a life of absolutely being annihilated in every opportunity. We've been forgiven, but apparently they weren't. Let's keep running them around. If you want to get some experience, be a guard. I know this sounds weird, but you can technically, if you want, roleplay as a guard. It's very much possible. You could theoretically roleplay as a guard and just have your guys set to bodyguard. Like, for example, if you want to roleplay as Holy Nation, right? Bodyguard the Paladin. Or follow the Paladin. I forgot which one exactly the people following the Paladin does. Or do. Oh boy, we're getting fought. We're getting fought. We're getting fought. Let's run. Because we're too far from the other guards, and I want to shoot ranged at them. I don't want to actually get in melee. Oh, we're out of arrows. That's why. We need to buy. We're getting fought in melee combat because we don't have any arrows. Let's see where we can buy some arrows. Don't they have a ranger shop here? I'm almost sure they do. I'm almost 100% sure they have a ranger shop. There we go. Go to the ranger shop. We need more arrows. Toothpicks. Because toothpicks are going to be the best way to level up. Because you can shoot them a lot. Technically, you can level up better with the longer range ones by shooting them and running away. That aren't that bad. Like rangers are pretty good. But don't underestimate toothpicks. Just don't underestimate them. They're good for their price. They cost basically nothing, and they do a lot for you, so don't immediately write them off as not being useful. I'm kind of still looking around to see if any princes come up, because if there's a prince somewhere, we can make $6,000 just right there. Okay, what was that? That was not a prince. Now, we're more likely going to get a prince from one of these excursions that you can see these guys going way out doing, or going out and fighting those guys out there. By like literally sneaking into their place and knocking them out. Actually, that might be the best decision to do. Who's got the highest stealth? In fact, hold on. I might even just set everyone up to do stealth. Sneak. We're going to do some sneak training. We're going to have some sneak training go on here. Because we need to make money, and that's going to make some serious money. Okay, is only one person sneaking? So this doesn't work if only one person is sneaking. Why are you not sneaking? Oh, because you're bodyguarding. So you can't bodyguard if you're sneaking. There we go. Sneak. Everybody run around. Run at the same speed so you guys don't get separated. We're all gonna go the really slow speed of crawl, but that's fine. This is peak performance in the what we call peak leveling performance occurring right now. Sneaking back and forth in broad daylight with stealth skill. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you right here. Because it matters that people are seeing you. Or by seeing you, I mean that it matters that people are around. If we look at sneak, hold on, I need a better angle though. Better angle at. There we go. And we can click down here. So like that. Stealth. So you see how we're going up? We're going up tremendously fast. Stealth. Part of it is because we're going fast speed, but another part of it is because we are in a populated area. You may, as you can see, whenever we pass more people, we're getting it at a faster rate. The more potential people who could see you. So you can see it just launching. So this is peak leveling performance for stealth. If you want to level up stealth, this is how you do it. In a nutshell, this is pretty much it. Now, technically, I think the best, I think yellow, if you can keep it in the yellow, is the best. I have no proof of that. Well, that's just speculation. But if you're wanting to level up, like force level it up, this is a significantly better way of doing it. Of doing stealth. Now you could do stealth outside. You don't have to have a bunch of people around you, but you just will barely ever level up if there aren't other people. Beep is chasing us. We're gonna ignore him. We're just not gonna pay attention to him, to Beep. We're gonna just go around until he leaves us alone. Oh, he saw us again. Just don't tell him anything. Don't give him. Just don't look at him. Don't look at him. You won't. You look at him. He'll know you're aware of his existence. So just stay stealth. Who's that? Ninja guard? Oh, poor Shinobi thieves. Well, consider it payback for when they didn't help the bull and they didn't know they couldn't help the bull. These tourists from the first one, which we accidentally had as the wrong bull, turn away from that guy having a bad day over that way. If you saw the guy screaming in pain, that's the death yards. We'll be able to go there soon. But we need some decent stealth, and I want to do it at night. Because that's going to be when we have the best chance at actually helping anyone. And then we can also get our assassination up. So I want to go until nightfall, and then I'm going to go and do a little bit of expedition. I'm going to leave Crawl here, though, when I do that. Because Crawl is a little slow. So he's not going to be able to outrun the other people. So for his sake, we're not going to bring him along. We don't have a lot of food left, which is a bit problematic. And we have only the one backpack now between us because we threw down one of our backpacks to escape bounty hunters. You can keep a track of where we are based off the little eye icon. Funny enough, the athletics will level up like this too. So while you're getting some stealth. It's almost nightfall. Once it's nightfall, we're going to go. And see if we can go to Death Yard. Okay, hold on. Crawl, you stay back here though. Not block, hold. There we go. Oh, Jaglonger's hurt? We forgot the first aider. That's not good. First aid. First aid first. That comes first. Okay, now sneak in, because I think injuries will affect stealth. Okay, so as you can tell, we're doing a little bit of a Naruto ninja run. A little bit, when we're running in stealth. You can actually get to where you basically run your normal speed. As you increase in stealth, you can get really fast. So I think all the guards actually came down here and ended them. Severed hive leg? Oh, yeah, they did. The guards dealt with it. The guards dealt with it, I guess. Do you see anyone with a blade? Ah, there we go. Green blood. You know what green blood means? There's a prince nearby. Frog Prince. There we go. I keep calling him Frog Prince. Loot. Take his head before he wakes up. Oh, that guy's still worshipping it. Hurry up, you guys. You're going to get attacked. There we go. Take his head. And I want to hit this person so I can free them. I want to free them. Oh, they're dead? They're dead. Okay, there's no point in freeing them then. There's another Frog Prince. Critical. His stomach's critical. Knock him out, Crawlkesh. Oh, yeah. Take his head right off his shoulder. Oh, he's awake. Or he's unconscious, I guess. But you know what I mean. Ripped his... Crawlkesh straight up ripped it right off his body. He just grabbed him from behind, knocked him out, and as he was falling, grabbed him by the neck and ripped his head from his body. That's basically how I imagine that this goes on. Because you're literally ripping their head from their body, so they're unconscious. Okay, he could be cutting their head off, but I don't know. It could be that it's less Mortal Kombat. Or duplicating their head. Because they also seem to have multiple, their head doesn't seem to be gone on the model, but it's basically what it feels like you're doing. Whenever you get stealth assassination against these guys, you just make all the money in the world. It's like farming at this point. You go in, it's like bees. It's like keeping a beehive. Because once you get max stealth, you can just like walk amongst them while they're eating somebody, just pushing past them, and they still can't see you, right? You just push past them and go, okay, there's the one I harvest, right? You grab it and rip the head off and go, oh, see you guys, bye, have a good one. You'll have a good day. So we're just going to sneak away because it's going to give us stealth. I'm having trouble with S's for some reason today. I don't know if anyone else ever had. Do you ever have a day in which saying something becomes more difficult? I'm doing th every time. Like th instead of S, I'm doing th. becoming a snake slowly. Somehow I'm transforming. Something we call it. I don't we'll call it. I think that the with the sneaking around, I think I've just said sneak so many times that I'm literally like it's morphing into a totally new word. I'm in trouble. Not all like kind of having trouble saying things today. Let's see. So we're getting stealth this way. But we need to find another death yard. And we can find that by just looking for screams. If you see screams, you know that there's a prince there that's eating people. Now, heavies can do it too. I've seen heavies do it. But princes seem to do it a lot more. A lot more, I think. I have yet to see normal fogmen do it, though. That is something I haven't seen yet. Let's follow our guys around. I think it's because I have the headphones on, and sometimes I have the ones that are really, really, really hard to hear. Like they prevent you from hearing yourself. So when you're talking, you're like, you know, in your head, you're like, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything, and then you're like messing up your words. Wait, is Beep outside? Beep, what are you doing? Oh no, you're not outside. You're inside. Let's go. I'm having to have one headphone off my ear. So I sound. I should be sounding a little clearer. Now that I can hear myself, at least a little bit. Oh, they're eating again. Now it's daylight, so that's a problem. Oh no, they're not eating. They're just worshipping. Oh, there's the princes. There's 3 of them. Okay, we need to get Crawl back because Crawl's not going to be any good in a stealth knockout. Because for one, he's not even capable of knocking people out. I'm going to say knock them out. They'll probably see these guys, but we can run away. So, you know, by chance, if they happen to be distracted. And sometimes even though they know you're there, if they're eating someone, they just won't care. Here, let's knock that guy out. Okay, we failed. Yeah, he just doesn't care. That's the crazy thing. We can literally just keep hitting him. He doesn't care because they know that there's food around. Did all the ones from over here leave? I think all the ones from over here left. They must have someone else somewhere. So there's another death yard. Let's follow them. To some degree, it's a little creepy because you know that they are following something, right? But you just don't know what. And you don't know how long they're going to be, distracted. There we go. Take his weapon. Just for kicks. We can always drop their weapons because it's dirt cheap, basically. Oh, hold on. I can bring them here. Watch this. Let's pick him up. Now let's put him on a post. Where's a post I can put him on? Put in. There we go. Let's watch Kralkesh execute this poor guy. You'll see what I mean. This Fogman. They don't care if it's even one of their own. At least I think. I'm almost sure I've seen them eat them before. I don't know if they only eat them dead, maybe. Let's knock out this guy. He's having a weird day. Let's use Kralkesh because he actually has a chance. I don't know why Jaglonger has such a low chance of knocking him out. Probably because you just use Kralkesh more. He doesn't seem to care. Okay, so let's have Jaglonger do it, because that will get their XP up. But keep hitting him. Keep hitting him. He's just taking it at this point. We're just bonking him on the head, absolutely failing, doing no damage against him. I wonder if we actually do damage that way. Oh, he's crippled, that's why. But we're going to get some XP this way. Now we're getting more of a chance. The only trick is when we actually knock him out, we're going to have to wait until he wakes up again. Oh, there we go. Take his weapon, just in case. Take his weapon. There we go. Double check all these princes. Make sure that they don't have anything. Now, we might get people running over this way because of this guy here. We can knock him out on the post. Hold on. Knock him out. Yeah, we can! He's knocked unconscious on a post. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm sure they're coming for him. I think they're coming for him. Someone saw us. Someone's seeing us. Oh, here they come. Here they come. They come for the dinner bell. Yep, they're going to eat him. They're going to eat him alive. They're going to eat him alive. They don't care. You knock out that one. Here, crawl. Crawl, Cash. You go over this way. Knock him out. They don't care. Literally, they just don't care. Oh, a bunch of them just spawned right there. Now, they might care. They might care a lot. But if they're eating, they don't care. There we go. Take that, because it's literally weightless, isn't it? Oh, no, it's 1 kg. Maybe the better upgrades of them. Oh, yep, they don't care. Come on, Crawlkesh. Knock him out. Knock him out. Literally, they don't care. They could care less. I can just keep hitting him in the back of the head. Again, they literally could care less about me hitting them in the back of the head. So I recommend feeding the local wildlife. Kenshi, yeah, we're back to Kenshi. But literally, this is the one thing I've never seen someone bring up. It is such an amazing idea. Put on a Fogman on a post and then reap profits. It's free money. You go, that's free money, guys. Free money on the post. That's all we need to do. I'm literally just standing here. They see me. It's red. They see me. They don't care. They literally just don't care. It's literally free money. Okay, hold on. They're too hungry. It's like a feeding frenzy. Knock them out. It is also all the free stealth XP you want. I've never seen something more just one-sided in a game in terms of once you know how to do this, it's one-sided versus the Fogmen. You get all the money you could ever want because they can't do anything about it. Take all the heads you want, and guess what? When you're done, you just leave. You literally just leave. You literally rip the head off of the shoulders of half of them. Half of them, just ripping the head right off. And they don't care. Okay, now they do care. Now they care. We got far enough away. Okay, now they don't care. Yeah, they don't care anymore. Oh no, there's some drones. There's some drones that do care. That were passing by. The ones that are eating don't care. But the ones who are not eating, the ones who are not partaking of the meal of the very generous meal you gave them. Okay, they don't care anymore. Now they've joined the meal. Now they want to eat. They want some. Is there another prince there? That's a fog heavy. It's so free money. It's so free money. I recommend that. A lot of people don't recommend Mongrel to a lot of starting people. I totally disagree. It's free money early in the game. Is once you don't even need good stealth. You don't even need good stealth or good knockout. You don't even need good knockout because you will literally get good knockout from hitting them in the back of the head. So literally, imagine being at a dinner table, they're eating. It's like, would you pass the salt? And meanwhile, behind them, they've got a Shek just grabbing them by the head, trying to make them pass out, just going sleep while they're trying to get them to. You could be told you could be a robot punching them. Oh no, you can't punch them. You can do everything but punch them, right? You can literally, but you can rip their head right off their shoulder. Again, don't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm overemphasizing. It's just hilarious to me. I've never seen something quite as funny. It's really funny to me in a game. It's an amazing way of making money. Poor Thieves Guild. Poor thieves. Shinobi thieves. They're getting knocked out everywhere now. Let's sell. There we go. I guess the only other more profitable thing you could do is start a civil war, and with people you don't like. Like starting a war between, for example, let's say you don't like the thieves for some reason, starting a war between the thieves and the what do you call it. So if we take a look here, that's 31,000. We went up to 31,000. And now technically another one you can do that is more profitable than this from Death Yard farming is farming eggs from nearby nests to hive villages. Farming, what do you call it? Beak thing eggs. Beak thing eggs are way more expensive, and you can just run the beak things as long as you're fast enough that you can get to the village before you die. The village will then auto aggro onto the beak thing, and then you're just walking away scot free. You just not care about it anymore. It's not your problem anymore. It's their beak thing problem. What beak thing, as far as you're concerned? We can buy specialists now. I'm gonna give it to whoever. I'm gonna be fair and give it just to whoever. Oh, Masterwork toothpick. He has a Masterwork toothpick. That's both funny just saying it and let's see. Crossbows 9. Whoever has the highest, I'm gonna give it to. No, okay, so it's even. 983, and you are 946. I'm gonna actually. Should I give it to the lowest? Because he'll shoot faster. No, I said I was going to give it to the highest. It'd be unfair now to switch it because I wanted to give it to the highest. So let's go ahead and sell that. We don't need that one anymore. And we can buy a specialist. And we'll give that to them. But we'll sell that real quick first. Also, they're dirt cheap. Toothpicks are dirt cheap. Oh, we already bought it? I didn't realize we already bought it. Okay, hold on. Let's buy some. There we go. Some ammunition. And now we can just freely shoot at them while they eat. They will care once we hit them. But since none of them are princes, we can just kind of run away. We can kind of shoot at them while they're eating and then run away. We're playing bandits, so we're not exactly going to be playing the most honorable of honorable people right here. Ambush predators. That's I think we said we wanted to do ambush predators. So not like bandit, like they'll just steal everything they see, but like they have to like kind of conquest it to some degree. Combat bandits, I guess. I guess bandits are the combat variant of thief anyway, but not the highwayman type bandit. More mugger than highwayman. How about that? Okay, he's standing right behind. Like this is on it. Oh no, they're not standing right behind. They're shooting through that. Okay. I think we might actually be able to just kill this guy before. Yep. Gone. There we go. And none of these guys have armor, so we can just keep shooting them. There we go. It's that easy. They don't have any armor, so we just keep shooting them. Even if they're really tough, you can just keep shooting them. Now, there's a lot of them down here. There are a lot of them, I should say. I keep saying is a lot of them. There are a lot of them. So that could be a problem. But we can track them kind of with us. Remember, we can run. We run at 22 and 21. So we run faster than them, hands down. Okay, so we just run away. And we can either shoot them or just run them to the guards. Which we are going to run them to the guards and then shoot them. With impunity. The guards mess with us a little bit, so... consider it a little bit of payback having them have to do some of this fighting. Also, oh, and anyone who's watching our Morrowind playthrough, we're doing, I should mention, I'll mention this in the Morrowind playthrough too, but I should mention that I'm using, if anyone wanted to know, I'm using the code patch, not OpenMW. But I did want to say that next time I got an opportunity, because there's a big difference in certain things. Certain things have a big difference, not everything, but certain things have big differences between the two. There's more design decisions in the OpenMW. By that I mean is like they one's closer to an unmodified Morrowind, and one's closer to an interpretation of how the intent was supposed to be. If that makes sense. How they figured it was supposed to be played, or not supposed to be played, but supposed to run, right? Because of like things like fortify attribute work a little different, things like that. But I guess you could say it works the way it sounded like they were trying to make it work, whereas the other one works more like out of the box. And I think the out of the box is going to be easier for most people to understand. That way, if you're playing Morrowind and you don't mod at all, you can kind of still understand why certain things are, and you don't mess up your build or something like that. Because I think that's not a fun one, is messing up builds. Especially in games that you could take a long time to do. This is just not smart, I think. Oh, they're shooting over them. Okay, never mind. It is actually very smart. Oh, boy. Oh, we're going to hit. Oh, no, they did a leg hit. Smart on their side, though. Let's run. Let's run back to the guards. And perform the duty of backline attacker. The problem with missing the thieves is we can't get the thieves' backpack from here. Which is really sad, because the thieves' backpack is amazing. The problem is what we have now. As you can see, it gives us a huge negative to our dodge and stealth. That is and combat speed effect. That is not a problem with the other ones. So, and even the small backpack does give us a big negative. So that is a big loss that we're getting there. Let's medic up a little bit. Okay, so we have a lot more money. I want to think maybe we should go get more recruits. I think we should get more recruits. I'm gonna leave Quality Resident here with, if I can find an arm, I'll leave him with an arm. Go take this arm. You'd love that. Carl, get that arm. Come on. You know you want it. Here, let's have him drop it somewhere a little easier. There we go. Can you get that? Ah, you got it. He's got it. You go ahead and eat that, and we're going to go. How about that? We're going to go to... Ooh, we're actually starting to get kind of hungry, too. We're going to run to Shack Territory, because we're going to want to buy the backpack, and that's the closest place I can think of that might have a Thieves Guild area. Or will sell... I think they even sell the Thieves backpack just normally. Which... in hindsight, is absolutely hilarious, considering that they're supposed to have the honor and everything like that, and then they we'll call it sell these backpack. I think in the normal store. So it's kind of funny. All the factions are kind of bad in Kenshi too. So I mean, I guess it does kind of play into the fact that each of them is a little bit hypocritical. For example, the Holy Nation uses armor you cannot make, and also a lot of their buildings and structures would require research that you can't get, because that's what in our Holy Nation playthrough we couldn't make any weapons, any weapons of any quality because of because we didn't have the high enough research that would have required illegal objects in the Empire. So you could just context clue that they must have known and thus are doing something illegal. Or being hypocritical. UC don't enslave slavers. I've tried to enslave slavers, but for some reason, and I guess you can put them in the cage, but I guess because they're friends with them, but I've rarely seen a slaver enslave another slaver, except maybe a slave hunter. So they'll pick up anyone else off the ground, but they won't pick their friends off the ground. Um, when you think about it, it can be a little hypocritical. Oh, were we going through Vane? Oh no, this is not the way I wanted to go. This is Beak Thing territory. This is definitely not the way I want to go. The only time you want to go into Beak Thing territory is if you intend to take the eggs. Uh-oh. I'm worried. I'm worried if we're going to run into some Beak Things before we get back. If we do, run through water. That's my advice. That's why you get your swimming skill up to a decent level early, so you can run through away from things by using water. Because virtually nothing has any swimming skill. So by having a decent swimming skill, you can use amphibious landings and amphibious escapes. Especially with a crossbow, you can kill Beak Thing by just running through a source of water, and while it's bogged down in the water, if you're zipping through the water, it's in Shem. I think it's in Shem. Is that what the name of it is? I think Shem. This area. I might be mixing it with Conan Exiles, but I think it was Shem. With all the I have to pause real quick. With all the water. Oh, is it there? Where is it? It's near. Here. I think it's this area? No, that's... Oh, it's here. There we go. Right here. I want to say that's Shem. I don't know if that is. But that area, you can kill a bunch of them by just running through the water. Why are we running through a Holy Nation I clicked the Holy Nation town. I'm accidentally clicking a whole bunch of things, aren't I? Okay, hold on. I didn't tell all of them to go. You stop where you are. You don't run. You two do. You two run through here. I was trying to run to the Shek place, and instead I ran. I ran straight to Holy Nation Town. Oh boy. Okay, we're faster than them, so we're invincible. We're invincible as long as you're faster. As long as you're faster in Kenshi, you win. You just win, unless you screw up. It is your battle to lose. Because your choice could be just simply to leave the battle. Which is an option. Running away is totally an option in Kenshi. But that is the probably smartest thing to do if you're in trouble. Ooh, what? Hungry bandits? Now we wanted to be friends with kind of bandits, so I'm gonna ignore them. Since we're gonna kind of be a bandit. You can only be friends with bandits so much, though. So before they don't really help you. Whoop. It's paused. Hold on, let's see. Well, we got some up there. I was just checking to see if the stream's working. It's working alright. I was worried it wasn't working there for a second. But yeah, it's an easy way of making money. But either way, I think I was going back with with the factions with the with the factions one uses technology you couldn't have access to. One doesn't enslave itself, and the other one and the other one what is it? Sell like bandit things and also rob you of food. rob you of food if you build a base there. Demanding tribute, pretty much like bandits, and the highest tribute of all of them. They demand if you have a lot of food. If you have no food, you don't pay anything. But if you have a lot of food, they will take significantly more value. So it is a terrible idea to make a farm in Shek territory unless you're going to fight the Shek, because they will rob you of every ounce of food you have in your city. Each person will take 10 food items. So it's not worth it building in Shek areas, because I don't think it's even that good for building food in. So every team's a bit hypocritical. So let's see. I want the stuff out of this backpack so I can take it, but here, we could take the small thieves backpack 2 and just have to sell it later. We have a lot of money, so I'm not really worried. Or we have enough money, I guess you could say, that we can play around with what we're gonna. Hold on. Let's just take all the food. Okay. Now let's have him take all this stuff out. I think I've said this like a million times, but the only real good guys in Kenshi are ones that don't get involved in politics. They're literally the only good guys in Kenshi, or all the teams that don't get involved in politics. Like the anti-slavers. Which I guess you could argue that's kind of politics, but they're still kind of the good guys because they don't get involved in actually running things. But then you could argue that there's a lot of arguments you can make in Kenshi, but those are like you could argue whether being delusional makes you good or bad could also be a dependent, because you could say the Flash Bandits, because they think that they're making themselves human to be accepted by the masses. Right? You could say that they're trying to stop a long-term conflict. They're trying to stop a species war. You could argue that they're the heroes. They just don't know what they're doing because they're being misled by a person saying that they have to skin people. So Kenshi's got a lot of sides in it, and no good guys, and I like it that way. I do hope that it stays that way, because as soon as you start adding an objective good guy to a game, you're asking for trouble, because you're let's have at least one of those. Because you're basically saying fight me. You're basically at that point you're saying fight me to everybody else. He's saying, oh, this is the objectively right thing. Which is basically like going on Reddit, or going on any, we call it bag check. We're bandits. We don't listen. Oh no, I'm gonna sell. Show the bag. We don't have anything. And so you disrobe your fellow kin, brother. Okay. Nothing more. No. Oh boy, we're gonna get hit. Ooh, we got hit hard. Run! Run! Hold on, we won't. Oh, no, we're not gonna fight him because I don't want to hire bandit. Not bandit. Hire bounty. Bounty 5,000. Let's run. I think it's 10,000 we can't come back from. Don't shoot. Who shot? Alarm raised. Did you shoot? Who shot? Let's run up here. Passive. Run passively. Passively run up there. Okay, we're running the wrong way. I just realized. Let's go down until we lose them. And then we're going to have to run through. Or run around. Let's go to the river. Because we can crawl up the river. We're bandits. This is how we bandit. And they're kind of bandits, so we're just banditing from bandits. It's kind of like the word called. Kind of like whenever I mention we call it the Czech are kind of just the Czech nation is kind of just bandits. I feel like I'm saying that. I feel like I'm doing that same thing where I'm basically saying fight me, which I really don't mean. But I know a lot of people like the Czech. A lot of people like the Czech, which the Czech are really cool. But the Czech Kingdom is kind of sketchy as heck. If you actually like look into it, it is super sketchy. Like, I'd argue they're one of the probably the most sketchy teams in Kenshi. I'd argue they're one of the most sketchy teams in Kenshi. Because they basically were genetically made. I think they were like genetically made by the skeletons to to do something. I don't know exactly what. I think they were like either genetically made to like be enforcers or something like that. Or they had something to do with them, that or they just evolved around them. But anything oriented around that. Oh, we're running through the swamp territory. It's hinted at least that they were made by the Second Empire. So it's like so the Shek themselves, like after they got out of that, is fine. Like after they got out of that situation, you could argue that they're fine. You see what I'm saying? But what do you call it? The Shek Nation afterwards just becomes kind of exactly what I think that they were trying to make them do in the first place. So I think that that's kind of a, what do you call it? A bit of a spooky thing. Let's go through. Because even like there's different Shek that don't want it to be the way they have it as, right? Like you'd argue the one, like you could argue technically the leader of the Shek Kingdom right at the moment is listening to someone who's wanting them to change it, right? But just doesn't really have any concept of, hey, this is a despotism, so as soon as someone beats me, there's gonna be no point to anything I'm doing. So I've yet to kind of figure out what the end game for them are beyond kind of just being better organized bandits. Like literally, I get the Band of Bones and the, what do you call it, more than the Shek Kingdom. Because the Berserker ones, right, the ones that Kral's chosen, are technically saying, well, it's tradition, not, what do you call it, it's tradition, and so we're following tradition, it's not government, right? So they're saying, well, this is our ways, and this is our tradition. It's not perfect, but that's our culture, right? The other one's saying, no, this is how we operate government, and that gets kind of spooky. So I don't like the Shek Kingdom in this game. I always avoid them. They'll steal your food. They'll steal your food. I've said it like 50 million times. They'll steal your food. I'm not a fan of the Shek Kingdom. They'll steal your food. You'll get probably the most companion characters with them, because they'll literally give you, if you work with them, they'll literally give you someone to follow you around for you to help teach to become super strong. But it just even makes it more obvious that they have no idea what they're doing. It's like, so I could get this person killed right now. Like, they could die. And then your entire, like, system falls apart. That'd be like, hey, I have a single heir, right? I'm changing from a despotism to a monarchy, kind of. It feels like they're trying to change to, like, a monarchy, right? I'm going to give you my only heir and take them off to potentially die. Okay. Sure. That has never gone real bad in history before. I know it's a video game and not to take it too seriously, but it's just, literally everything about them is like red flag. All of them had red flags, but like a lot of people go, oh no, they're the de facto good guys. I'm like, heck no. Anti-slavers are probably the de facto good guys if you had to have one. But I think the creator was very smart by not having them literally take over places, because what do you call it? Take them over, the rebel swordsmen, and they have more of like the whether they're good or bad thing, right? They have, whether are we good or are we bad, because they destroy like they destroy the economy of the empire, of the United Cities, but they build up, but they're not like they don't have nobles and stuff like that. They're basically egalitarian. So it's egalitarian but broke, or rich, but then having slavery. So you have rich slavery, but with slavery, or egalitarian and broke with the rebel swordsmen, and then you have the anti-slavers, which are the third party that is often nowhere. We could join the Reavers now I think about it, because the Reavers technically would work with these guys. I think it's one of those video game-isms. I call it like a video game-ism because of like wherever the team that's about, where like New Vegas, for example. What's probably the best ending in New Vegas? The one where you get in charge. The reason why it's the one where you get in charge is because since you're in a video game, you can literally resurrect yourself at every issue. So you're basically a semi-divine being. You're basically a semi-divine being, omnipotent divine being that has the power of not just resurrection, but time control. You could just load back. You could just load back to a time in which you weren't dying and fight them again, right? So, in that context, then the best ending of in New Vegas becomes any game where you can come back to life or reload. The best ending is the one where you're in charge because apparently you can do everything. I feel like if you're going to have choices in games, it has to be permadeath. So like, have you noticed we haven't been reloading in this one? We literally made a whole new character when that one character died. What's the point of a choice if you can just reload it? It's like the same thing where people, like, ironically, this happens a lot in Morrowind, where people do the quick save and they'll kill someone just to see what happens. It gets rid of the point of it, because if for example, let's say there's a package you're not supposed to read, because I think Kaios Kasodi's package, right? You're not supposed to open it, right? He tells you not to open it. Well, you could just open it up, load back before you opened it, and now you know what happened. Now, some games kind of deal with it. Oh, I think we're shooting them in the back of the head. I'm almost 99% sure we were shooting each other in the back of the head. Or maybe not back of the head, but back of the body. Okay, so we should have Small Thieves Backpack and the Thieves Backpack now, which is really cool. I'm happy to have gotten that. Now it looks a lot better, too, since we're wearing the shadowed gear. And won't mess with our stealth, meaning we can farm up all we want. And the passing parties might miss us. Passing search parties. Because the thing is, you don't really need high stealth when I have them sneak. And I have all of them do the sneak again. Let's catch it. But I don't know. I feel like I like the everyone's a bad guy in Kenshi. Everyone except people who don't get involved in making decisions that could be bad. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Because when you think about it, aren't you kind of the bad guy a little bit in a game in which you're making decisions unilaterally? I want that to happen in a video game. I so badly. It'd be hilarious. Have you ever seen the Monty Python where like Who Made You King? Like the guy's talking to the King of England, like with the Holy Grail one, where he's like they're like they come across the peasants that are like, no, we're an elected system and everything like that. That would be hilarious to have a video game in which your character just gets shut down by people if they are not bad. If they're not bad, they get shut down. Because in games, you're always liked if you're the good guy. You're always liked if you're the good guy. People apparently always do what you want if you're the good guy, right? And they apparently lose all freedom of choice if you're good. So if you give someone a sandwich, they have no choice but to make you leader of their guild. You are the hero of wherever you are for bringing me a sandwich. I have no choice. You have done good things for me, so I must help you. I must help you. I would love to see in a game, be like, you help someone the entire game, and then they go, you know what, just because you helped me not die 50 million times doesn't mean I'm going to put you in charge of a country. Or put you in charge of a band of mercenaries or anything. Like, that'd be hilarious. Or even better, at the end of a game, have a bunch of party members get like a vote where they get to vote for different things, and they vote for you to sacrifice yourself. So because they're like, well, you've done everything right so far, So why don't you go do it? Like, have it more. The more you do something, the more they expect you to do stuff, and they stop giving you rewards. That'd be amazing. Have a game in which the more you help someone, they slowly stop giving you things for helping them. So it's like, as you help the guild, they're like, okay, I gave you some money, right? I gave you, like, let's say 100 gold, right? You dealt with our issue. You've killed this enemy, right? Though actually, the Holy Nation do this kind of in this game, which is really cool. They kind of try to get it to where you don't get paid if you're not careful. So if you're just skimming through while they're talking to you, you can end up not getting paid for turning in a bounty to them. But that would be an amazing game feature, is they slowly stop paying you. Because there's always that option in games that you go, well, give me the money, right? Or what am I going to get out of this, right? That choice is meaningless because all you know is they're not going to give you anything more for asking. They're going to, They're not going to give you more for asking, right? They're going to go, it's just going to be dialogue where they like you less. They're going to be like, oh, man, he's asking me to pay him, right? It's going to be like, ah, man, the hero is being kind of a jerk. He's asking me to get paid for doing my quest. I mean, I was going to pay him anyway, and I'll pay him the same amount now that he's demanding to get paid. But at least with one, I got to be nice, right? Or work on nice. Whereas which is hilarious when you think about it in video games, that you don't have to ask to get paid to get paid. So I would love to have that happen in a video game. It should totally happen. Sometimes they'll give you the option to not get paid. You can go, oh, well, take the money back. I'm a hero. I give you the money back. But then keeping the money will give you, like, dark side, or not dark side, but like evil karma or something like that. So it's really funny when it'd be really great a change for a game in which your character, if he does everything good, at the end of the game doesn't get to be in charge. It just doesn't get to be in charge. He doesn't get to be in charge, and he doesn't get paid. Because he never asked for payment, and he never asked for, He never asked for payment, and he never asked for, to be in charge. That would be amazing in a game. I think that would really make... It would make people who like playing the good guy better. It would make them, not better, but make them enjoy the game more. Because then they did it really because they were wanting a good thing to happen in the world. Like, you could have good things happen in the world, but then you're not in charge, right? Mass Effect kind of had it with whether you destroy the council. There's a choice you can do to destroy the council, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. But you could destroy the council for your own... You could destroy the council to help out humans, right? Or not destroy the council, but then humans lose out. But it's very vague, and there's only one decision. But I'd love to have it be the main character doesn't get the final, like, master sword, the final reward, unless they actually ask for it. One time. At least they have to... One time they have to go, can I get paid for doing this giant long quest? I mean, Link is literally the living... Link from Legend of Zelda is literally the living example of this. Have your character be able to be Link. By that I mean have your character able to be where he can go through the entire thing. At the end, it's like, he was such a noble hero. Did he get paid? No, he returned back to his village. And he didn't ask for anything. It's like, so he ended up not getting anything. No, he didn't. Oh. So that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect. It'd feel so real. It'd feel so real. It'd be hilarious too. I mean, I guess some people might feel a little bit like, oh man, I did this all for nothing. But then it would make it where once you found out that you could have asked for stuff, and then you could have like said, I'm not going to do it unless I get paid, right? It would start changing games to where you have the choice of being a mercenary. Because right now, it's being a mercenary in a lot of games is basically just a cosmetic choice of just making your character sound like he's the mercenary. I'm just talking like I'm a mercenary, and saying they're saying they're paying me because they're going to I'm saying they're paying me because I'm the because I'm the good guy. Or not because I'm the good guy, but because I'm a mercenary-esque character. But in reality, if I was nice, I'd get just as much money. So now you could have some characters do that, but for the most part, I feel like if your character just goes and does something, them going, oh, thank you for dealing with this problem you had no idea with. Here's the money I set aside for paying somebody. They should not say anything. That's the best thing is that, and that people would say it's missable, but that'd be so much better. But we've gotten to the end of we've kind of gotten to the end of our stream. It's funny, they're all doing the exact same pose except for Crawl there. Crawl the dog. But that would make games at least feel like it's different. Sometimes you have to have the option of missing out on things in games in order to have any difference. Because if at the end of the game you can get everything, you don't really, unless you can do it different ways, like by killing someone and taking it. Now that's fine. If killing and taking it is an option, then that's a different kind of option because now they're dead, but you still got the reward. But that I think is something missing from a lot of games. And in Kenshi, the benefit of it is bounties. They will try to talk to you out of bounties with some of them, or if you try to go to Rebirth. If you try to go to Rebirth and try to sell prisoners, right? They're going to be like, what are you trying to do? We don't sell prisoners and stuff like that. Whereas in the same behavior on another side of the world with the United Cities, they'll be like, yeah, sure, sell us your prisoner. So, hope you guys have enjoyed. A lot of game theory today. But hope you guys have a good one. See you guys later. Have a great week. Morrowind's going to be tomorrow because I was going to do Mondays, but I think someone else does Morrowind Mondays, so I'm going to do Tuesdays. So have a good one. See you guys later. All right. Bye.